everybody. My name is Joe Appello. George Conner to my left. We are All Sports Talk with Joe and George. We're coming on our 1-year anniversary.
Hey,
George.
happy anniversary.
All right.
All right.
What'd you get me?
I got you that shirt. You like it?
Yeah, we've done 20 plus shows, and we've had a blast doing it, and hopefully our contract will be renewed.
Brody Van Wagenen's my agent.
That's it.
All right.
First off, let's do a little recap on last week's, this past Sunday's and Monday's, Thursday's games in the NFL. We'll start with your Jets, who got lambasted
by the very strong Buffalo Bills.
Buffalo Bills with Matt Barkley, who was in camp for 3 days after being on his couch for basically September, October, November.
3 months.
And comes up
2.5, 3 months. Yep.
Goes 15 for 27, 232 yards, couple TDs, and just embarrasses the heck out of the New York Jets at home.
Yeah, and the biggest disappointment there is obviously the Jets. Well, I mean, Darno's, he's in a boot now. He's not playing. But the defense started the season looking fast and aggressive and everything else, and the whole thing. I mean, it's just. It's same old Jets, if you will, and I think it's finally time for Mr. Bowles to exit, and I would certainly see that at the end of the season. He's one of those, that Monday morning right after the final game, he's going to be one of the first guys.
The hardest thing about these coaching situations is you can cut or axe these coaches at any point in time, but a guy like Bowles, who seems to me so blah and blasé and just doesn't, no energy and no fire in this. You're saying you're checking his pulse.
Yeah, and a lot of times, and I'm sure I've said it on the show, you can't fire the coach if the coach doesn't have the talent or whatever else. But the coach ultimately is the leader of this team, and the team has no fire. I mean, so they're representing his personality, and it's just time for a change.
Right. It's like the Jason Garrett mold, same thing. The guys sitting outside, they're like.
Yeah.
I
don't know how you do it. No energy.
How do you do it? How do you sit there and be so invested in your team and so much time and energy and just get embarrassed and just sit there and they don't even talk to their players when they come off. I guess that's a protocol where they don't say anything on the field.
Coaches or whatever. Yeah, and that's a policy, but maybe that policy needs to change like anything else.
I guess it's I think it's kind of like an rule you don't embarrass guys, but they're embarrassing you, as a coach, as far as I'm concerned, with their play in the field. Josh McCown got in there. I thought that he might do a decent job, but you can't just not play for 8-9 weeks. He
hasn't seen any significant action since January of this year.
Now the only thing is, all right, Bowles, who replaces him? That's the issue, I think, with them.
Yeah,
they have a bye this week.
Yep.
And so it gives them an extra week to figure things out, which they probably won't. But you've got nobody on that coaching staff with head coaching experience at any level.
No.
As far as at the pro level anyway. And you got Jeremy Bates, who might take the fall as the offensive coordinator, but they have no wide receivers. Nobody catches the ball.
No, Darno shows a lot of promise, and 2 years down the road, I can see him being a great quarterback. Right now, again, he's injured, but he has no weapons to throw to, which was evident this week when he had a guy, who's he's not going to lose a game for you.
Right.
And that was the value of him last year. But I think, and as a 51-year-old Jet fan, been a Jet fan pretty much the whole time. It's
unfortunate.
It is bad, but I'm loyal. Yeah, but I'm loyal. It's it's been my whole life. Is what's the direction of this team, this and that, and a lot of guys don't like him, but when Rex came in, that was the most exciting time in the last 20 years as a Jet fan.
Rex Ryan was on the NFL pregame on Sunday. He's like, Jason Garrett's one playoff game in 9 years. What am I doing not coaching? He says.
Yeah. Well.
So.
Hey, I mean, his first 2 years as a coach of the Jets. It was exciting as a Jets fan because finally we had the guy that everybody hated except the Jet fans because he turned it around.
Yeah.
He took Mark Sanchez to the AFC Championship game 2 years in a row. Mostly because he had LaDainian Tomlinson.
Right.
But he had a scheme where he didn't ask Sanchez to do something he wasn't able to do. He had a defense reminiscent, shades of a little bit of the Baltimore Ravens defense. And if Sanchez went out there and went 3 and out, hey, that's fine. Pat him on the back. He did a great job. That's what you're supposed to do. Just don't lose the game. And, ultimately it ended in a disgrace when they had no running game, and then they started asking Sanchez
you compare the
to do
personality of
stuff
Rex Ryan to the personality of Todd Bowles, it's just like polar opposite. Yeah, you can't get any much different.
No.
And the same result, though. Anyway. So the Bears, a lot of people are jumping on the Bears bandwagon because of the defense that they have in Khalil Mack, and Trubinsky is getting better. They've got some weapons. They look pretty good. They took care of the Lions on Sunday. Lions came back a little bit toward the end, but anyway, the Bears prevailed 34-22.
Yep.
Allen Robinson is a wideout for the Bears at 6 catches for 133, so he played well. And they survived again. And they're kind of taking control of that division. The Packers are in second place in there. Lions are in last place, and then Vikings are there too with the Packers. Saints and Bengals. The Saints, as of right now, a lot of people think they're the best team in football, which I agree. The way they look, their offense is. It's like a rolling train, man. They're unstoppable. They have so many weapons, and Drew Brees is
so you're not a believer in the Rams? So a lot of people are saying the Rams are the best.
Defensively, I don't think they're. And then Cooper Kupp went down, so I think that's a loss for them. So they're one of their top wideouts. With the Saints, they just have so many weapons. You got Kamara and Mark Ingram, a great 1-2 punch. Which guy do you key on? You key on one guy, the other guy, and Kamara's great out of backfield receiving. And
it's been that way in New Orleans forever. They've always had 3-4 guys. That you can key on one, and you kind of have to, but they always have somebody else.
And Michael Thomas is becoming one of the top wideouts, if not the top wideout in the league.
Yeah.
He's just tremendous. And poor Des Bryant was there for 2 days and tore an Achilles up.
Yep.
And he's no
What's
longer
his future? Where do you think?
Boy, Achilles rehab is one of the tougher ones.
Yeah.
And I think it's tougher than ACL because just the nature of the thing. I know one of my friends, when I was teaching, had tore his Achilles playing basketball, and he did everything exactly how he was supposed to, and he was on a mini tramp rehabbing it, tore it again, the same exact spot, really? Another 9 months, and he wasn't even doing anything that he wasn't supposed to be doing,
Yeah.
And so those injuries are very tough. He never was the same.
Yeah.
But those injuries Achilles, that's a tough one. I don't know how. They say he was about 5 to 10 pounds overweight from his playing days. Now, obviously, you're not playing for 2-3 months. It's got to be easy to kind of get out of shape, and how much shape can you be in?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know if that had a factor or what, but it's just unfortunate for him because he had a chance. Now, he might be done. I mean, that's a severe injury to come back from and to get a second chance. The Saints seem to like him. Maybe they'll give him another chance if he's healthy. Who knows? But I think they're looking at Brendan Marshall, and they were looking at signing him also. So just as another receiver, but. I'm not a big Brendan Marshall fan. I thought he was a cancer in the clubhouse, but that's just me.
Now, anytime I think about an Achilles injury in the NFL, you got to go back to my 2000 Jets.
Vinny Testaverde.
Non-contact. Takes the Jets to, leading at the half against the Broncos in Denver. And the winner of that game is going to go and beat up the Falcons.
Was that a handoff or was it a rollout? He was rolling out?
It was a handoff to Curtis Martin.
And he just kind of circled
4 minutes into week one, and then that was it.
They wonder how that happens, a non-contact injury like that. I mean, the turf or what?
Yeah, just one of those things.
Right.
Yep.
Now, in the Saints game, Brees was 22 for 25. The guy is just on fire. I mean, he's just so accurate. I mean,
most yards in history?
Yeah. Total yards.
Broke that a couple of weeks ago, right?
Yep. And just a good guy. I mean, beautiful wife, three little boys. I mean, he's got it. 39 years old. He's up there too. I mean, he's almost 40 years old. Talking about Brady all the time, and Brees is.
Now, did he come out in the same draft as?
39, so he's got to be a little bit, maybe a year before Brady or a year after Brady.
Was he tied in with Eli? Because Eli was going to get drafted to the Chargers.
That was Rivers.
It was Rivers.
That was Phillip Rivers.
Because Brees started in San Diego, right?
Yeah, he's from Purdue.
Okay, but that was before the Rivers thing. Okay,
because Brees had gotten hurt, and they cut him, and then he wound up back in New Orleans. But but he's something else. When the Giants said Eli Manning says I'm not going to San Diego, so they trade him. But
it worked out okay for your Giants. You got two Super Bowls out of it.
Yeah,
right?
It's true. Now Browns Falcons. you think that the Browns would go back to their old ways, but they beat the Falcons pretty good on Sunday. Baker Mayfield played well. Nick Chubb had a 92-yard run, 176 yards on the ground, and they won a ball game with their new coach Greg Williams, who was that, excuse my French, piece of garbage that had the New Orleans Saints with the bounty hunting way back when.
Oh, yeah.
He was the guy that had, was putting prices on guys' careers. You wipe this guy, clean him out, hurt him, you get X amount of money.
Right,
Sean Payton was part of that too.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, that was.
There was some pretty good suspensions.
Yeah, he spent it for a year, and then he comes right back in the league again. It's like these guys that have PEDs get caught, they surface again all the time. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so but they won a game, and Falcons. I thought Falcons looked like they were rolling. They won 2 or 3 in a row, and then they just went back and they didn't play well at all. Titans Pats. The Titans blew up the Pats. Oh my God.
Yeah.
They just blew them away.
Now let me get so that's 2 losses. Patriots have lost 3 games. That's 2 losses to former Patriot coaches. Right, the Lions with, Matt Patricia, right?
Yep.
Something there?
Rabel.
Is Belichick throwing the game to try to increase the power of his coaching tree?
I think the Lion game was just a fluke, but this game, first of all, I think the Titans are a lot better than people think.
Yeah.
I think they're playing well. Mariota's playing better. They got some big backs. They got that Derrick Henry, who's huge. Guy 6'4", 245 pounds.
Yeah.
Defense is very good, and they beat up the Cowboys the week before. Not saying much, but then they came out and just. Totally. Pats look disinterested though. They didn't like they want to be there. But
3 losses for the Pats is certainly. I mean, nobody's questioning that they're going to be in the playoffs. But it is kind of shocking given the era that we're in.
2 weeks in a row, they didn't have Gronk, I think, which is a pretty big factor. I mean, he stretches the field, and he's a big.
Yeah,
factor.
Wide receivers, slot receivers, they seem to always have that extra guy. But I don't think there's any. I don't care who you are. You're not going to replace Gronkowski. Yeah. He's just that good.
Corey Davis is coming on. He's a draft pick they had a couple of years ago, with number 5 pick in the draft, and he's playing well. He didn't do much for a while, but now he's starting to find his stride. So he's a weapon for them.
Yep.
But Mariota's like healthy, and he's playing well. Defense is very good. So they're kind of like sneaking up on everybody.
Mm-hmm. And you only do that for so long before people know you're good.
Now they know they're good, I think.
Yeah, that's the Jets' plan. See. We're gonna go under the radar here, Joe.
We're doing a good job.
Now we got see.
They're sneaky. Boy.
We don't do anything halfway.
Yeah, sneaky, all right. They're sneaky, all right. Colts and Jags, 29-26. Jags are on a downward slide. They're just like everyone. Remember last year they beat the Steelers in the playoffs, and now they haven't done anything.
Yeah, came out and beat the Patriots pretty handily early in the season.
I mean, they just don't look like they. I don't know.
Yeah.
Chiefs survive again. Mahomes, another great day.
Yep.
Redskins, Bucks. This is an amazing game. The Redskins and Tampa Bay, right? Score 16-3. Bucks score 3 points, and Fitzmagic passes for
Fitzmagic now
406 yards.
Just remember, he's only Fitzmagic in the first year of his contract. Once he gets an extension to the contract, he goes back to Fitzpatrick.
But he passes for 406 yards and he scored 3 points.
Yeah.
That's hard to do. Hard to do. And I think a couple plays. I didn't watch the game, but a couple plays like on the goal line when they fumbled, they had a couple bad plays, and they were on the doorstep the whole day long.
Yeah.
Anyway,
we were talking before the show, and it's I mean, just for the sake of interest in the league and everything, it is kind of nice to see the former San Diego Superchargers, now the LA Chargers, actually playing good football.
Yeah, they're tough.
And it's been a long time since they played.
Always under the radar. You just never see him. You never see him play.
They were decent there for a while. The Jets knocked them off in playoffs back when Ryan was there.
Yep.
But really, since then, have been just everybody's
Rivers is a good quarterback.
Yeah.
He's a really underrated good quarterback. Not underrated. I wouldn't call him underrated, but I mean, just kind of like you have all your Brees, your Roethlisberger, your Aaron Rodgers, and you go and Goff, and you get those other guys, and you just don't mention him for some reason
in that elite
in that top 5. Yeah, but he's
he puts up the numbers. But again, here's a guy who's always played from behind.
Yep.
Has lost a tremendous number of games down the wire.
Yeah.
I mean, he's whether it's his fault or whatever else. It's been.
Yeah.
I mean, they're a team that.
And in that division,
if it's close down the stretch, you just kind of know which way it's going to go.
Yeah.
Historically.
Green Bay took care of the Dolphins, which they should have done.
Yep.
31-12. Aaron Jones had 145 yards for the Packers. Look like he's a good back. Mm-hmm. They got a good running back now. So Rams Seahawks was a crazy game. 36-31. Rams won that game.
Yep.
And that just scares you about the Rams. They give up 30 points. I mean, they're winning these games, but they're giving up 35 points.
Yeah.
They're outscoring their team now.
So we were talking before the show, and you just, once it gets to the playoffs, you just don't see that holding up.
I don't know. I mean, it's, I think a lot with them and KC and other teams, the home field advantage. If you got home field throughout the playoffs, New England, I think it's a big advantage for those teams.
Yeah.
Not that you're going to get.
And again, New England with 3 losses already.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a stretch to say they end the season with 5 losses, and 5 losses is enough to not have home field.
I think I just read they have the second easiest schedule remaining of teams.
They haven't played the Jets yet, though.
Yeah.
Just saying.
But I mean, so, it's always a crapshoot. Now, Cowboys ride the ship a little bit, took care of the Eagles. Eagles are, they look terrible. They look terrible. They just didn't,
post-Super Bowl swoon kind of thing.
They just haven't gotten together.
Yeah.
Their running backs are down, and Carson Wentz is still not real sharp. Defenses, they had their secondary was really beat up though against the Cowboys. But I don't know how much that mattered. But Ezekiel Elliott just took control of that game. I think he had 125 yards rushing and 80 yards catching the ball in the backfield. He kind of controlled the game for them. So that was a big win for the Cowboys. They needed that. They were calling for Jason Garrett's head and things like that. But took care of the Eagles. Eagles might be in trouble. They have a tough schedule coming up.
Right.
So
staying in the NFC East, your New York Giants
played well the other night. They beat San Fran. I mean, San Fran's no powerhouse, obviously, but I mean, they did enough to win the game.
So 2-7.
2-7. As Odell says, they win 8 in a row.
0-4 at home.
Yep.
And 0-3 in the conference or in the division. What's going on at home? Is it just the way the schedule fell, or was it?
Yeah, those games have been kind of close. They've been like 1 or 2 plays away, really. Some of those games. They lost a lot of tough games. 2013, something like that. But with the Giants, what I liked about the Giants on Monday night is that they did enough to win. Yeah. And San Fran's no powerhouse, but they were home, and Beckham had only 4 catches for like 75 yards, but they seemed like every time he caught the ball was huge.
It was
2 touchdowns.
A key point.
Yeah. Barkley had a big catch on a crossing pattern, and they did some good things. They were down. They had a nice last couple minute drive there to win the game.
Yep.
And win's a win. Eli was happy. They have no other alternative at quarterback though. Lauletta, I mean, what are you going to do? You throw him in there, and then you think things are going to change that much? I don't think so. Yeah. So you got to kind of write it out with him. Their schedule is not really that bad going down. They play Tampa Bay this week, which I'm going to call right now. It's a win.
Calling it right now.
Right now.
Okay.
After calling Alabama and.
We'll get to your college.
Right. But anyway, they beat Tampa Bay. I think they're going to get a little bit of a roll now. I think they're kind of like you get that win after a while, and I think you get a little. I mean, they got some weapons, Odell and Barkley and Sterling Sharp, and they've got some guys that can play.
Yeah. I mean, they have the players. It's just, I mean, to me, the offense is just dysfunctional.
Defensively, the linebackers played well. Carter played well, and B.J. Goodson and Ogletree, they had a good game against San Fran. Now, San Fran had their rookie quarterback, Nick Mullins, but I mean, it was his second game. But San Fran, John, they play hard, and they're dangerous. Like every team's dangerous in the NFL. That go in. So, But the power rankings, Saints are number 1 most places. Chiefs 2, Rams are 3. You're kind of interchangeable, I think, but because the Rams, since the Saints beat the Rams, I guess you got to get them in the top spot. Steelers, Chargers 4-5, Pats, Vikings, Bears are kind of in the mix down there, and then Redskins are 6-3, so they're kind of, and Panthers, Titans kind of run out the top 10. So, you got obviously a lot of things have changed. The thing is now, I think, with this situation, this time of year, injuries, I don't want to avoid any major injuries like Cooper Kupp when he got hurt. That's big. When your top wideouts gets hurt, week 10, week 9, week 10, you got to find a replacement for him. So I mean that's.
Quick question before we get off the NFL. Any games left in London? Or are they done with that for this year?
We're supposed to play in Mexico this past Monday, but they canceled that.
So, nothing scheduled.
I don't think so.
In London.
Could be wrong, though.
And then the Mexico game. And is that is just the climate down there?
The field.
The field.
The field was terrible.
Okay, so it's not a safety thing.
They deemed unplayable for the players. I mean, these $1 million athletes. I mean, you're gonna rip up a knee on a lousy turf. Come on.
Yeah.
So they wisely changed it to I think they changed to L.A.
They moved it to L.A.
On Monday night. But what's going on out there with all those fires and stuff? That's crazy. Oof. All those things. That's freaking nuts out there. It's terrible.
Move to L.A. LA may not be there.
It's terrible.
This isn't sports, but a tremendous number of like movie stars and stuff like that. The house is gone.
Gerald Butler, Miley Cyrus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Robin Thicke, the man.
So they haven't had rain in California in a year. We haven't had. We can't string three days together without rain here in Connecticut.
We have our houses though. They don't.
That's true.
Okay, let's go to a little bit baseball a little bit now, maybe. Try a little baseball.
Well, poor timing on the show here. We're filming this on November the 14th at we'll call it almost 5 o'clock, going on 5 o'clock in the afternoon. At 6 o'clock Eastern time, we're going to find out that Jacob deGrom is the 4th Cy Young winner for the Mets.
Can you name the other ones?
Seaver.
Yep.
Strawberry.
Yep. Strawberry.
Gooden. Same era. Gooden and knuckleballer.
RJ.
Yeah.
R.A. Dickey, yep.
So that'll be number 4. And
that's a lot.
The consensus is that he's going to get it.
He's got it, yeah. He's got it.
Fewest home runs per 9 innings, 1.7 ERA.
3 runs or less in 25 straight games.
Stupidly low whip, blah, 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 blah. I mean, he's got it all. Other than the fact that, what he doesn't have is a team that can score 2 runs when he's pitching.
Yeah, he only had 10 wins, but it's fine. 10-9.
Yeah.
But
so again, that 10th win that he nipped right at the end of the season, I think that
put him over the edge.
That kind of that was it. So hey, some good news for the Mets.
Now you got the baseball. You got the free agents are all out there now. They're all able to go where they want. Now they got Harper and Machado, the 2 big guys. Now they're both commanding big contracts.
Yep.
Probably in the neighborhood of $300 million to $400 million, which is absurd to me. Probably looking at 8 to 10 year contracts. They're both about 24, 25.
Yep. Does Machado's postseason hurt him?
It does for me, but I'm not paying him any money.
You're not writing the check.
Yeah, I want him on my team, but I mean, some of these teams don't care about that. Dylan Betances played with him in Puerto Rico or Dominican, wherever they're from, and they played with him on the Dominican team. Yeah,
okay.
He said he's a good guy and he really wants to win.
Yeah.
And he endorsed him 100% for the Yankees, thinking that Didi's. It'll be a while for Didi gets back from his injury, from his Tommy John surgery. He'll be back in June, maybe. And how strong is he going to be?
He's back in June. Then you say, okay, we'll wait for the All-Star break.
Yeah.
Wait for the All-Star break, see where the team is, and then make a decision.
Do they want to put Gleyber Torres at short? They put Wade and Ronald Torres at second.
Yeah.
They go out and get somebody else.
Yeah. It seems to me 9 times out of 10 when that guy's mid-season going to come back, they more often than not they say, okay, we'll wait, save it till the spring.
You got to err on the side of caution because if they bring him back too early and he gets, I mean, that's a tough injury.
Yeah.
And Didi's contract's coming up. I think this is his last year on his contract, so he's not going to come back if he's not 100% ready either. No matter what, contract year.
That's a tough one because it's contract year, so you either come back and just show a little bit.
Yeah.
Say, okay, whatever. I played for a month and show everybody else that I can play. Yeah. Because it's a contract year, or do you not even take that chance because if it get re-injured?
You get back and get hurt, and then you're done. So but the Yankees are pretty good at taking care of their people, though. So
sure.
I think they'll make every effort to tie him up.
You will. Okay.
Then you got next year, you got Judge and Sanchez, and those guys all coming up on their rookie contracts.
Second contracts, yeah.
Yeah, so they're going to have to get paid big bucks. So you got Ellsbury's got one more year.
Does he stick around?
22 million. Yeah, they have to. I mean, he's got one more year at $22 million.
I'm saying after that. I mean, is he?
No, I don't think so. Not that kind of price, But they did re-sign Gardner and CC.
So an Ellsbury might be a kind of a ridiculous amount of money per season, but maybe a 2-year deal type of thing.
They could actually trade him somewhere. Like they're talking about trading him out west and then eat some of his contract, whoever they trade it to.
Right. Yeah.
Which is a possibility because I think they really want to get Clint Frazier in there too, because I think he's a good young player that could help them down the road. They got Gardner for another year. And they got Aaron Hicks, Judge, Stanton, and then Ellsbury. Those are 5 outfielders, really.
Yeah.
And then Clint Frazier's outside looking in as a 6th guy, and of course Stanton could DH and stuff like that. But I mean, all those guys are. I always said it. I know it's crazy, you never do it, but I think Aaron Judge would be a great first baseman.
Really?
Put him at first base, 6'7", athlete.
Think late in his career that might happen?
I don't know.
Yeah.
He's such a good right fielder too, though. I mean, he's just an athlete that can play anywhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's crazy to change a guy like that. But yeah, that would be nice.
It wouldn't be a bad time to start
teaching
him the position.
Yeah, he's so young though. He's only 25, I think. He's 25, 26.
Yeah, when he's 32, 33 years old, hopefully still in pinstripes for your sake.
I wouldn't take him that long. Yeah, he'll be there forever. He'll be the next Yankee captain at some point, I think, in the next couple of years.
Really?
No
Okay.
doubt in my mind. Yeah.
No doubt in Joe's mind.
When he signs a big contract, I think that's when they'll do it.
That really?
I mean,
At 25 years old, 26 years old, think that?
Yeah, that's when Jeter. How old was Jeter when he was a captain?
I don't know.
He's probably late 20s, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that means he's been there for a good, solid 2 years. The guys love him, and he.
Oh, absolutely.
plays hard. I
No,
mean,
great.
He's a darling of New York, so why not?
Yeah.
I think it's all about the other guys. The guys all respect him and love the way he plays and playing with him. So
Yeah.
I think that's huge. But the Yankees, Ohtani got the Rookie of the Year in the American League, which I was disappointed with. I thought Andujar should have been a Rookie of the Year, hands down.
Yeah.
Hands down. I thought that wasn't even close, but it was the opposite. Ohtani got 25 out of 30 first place votes. I mean, it was just a runaway. He was.
Let's not get into elections, so too heavy today.
Well, Ohtani, I mean, he had 22 home runs, and there were 76 other players that had more than 22 home runs in the whole league. I mean, he had 10 pitching appearances. Well, I mean, it's part of it the uniqueness that he was a pitcher, DH outfielder type thing.
Yeah.
Now here's the other thing too, but it doesn't go into the voting, but it goes in my eyes is that Ohtani played 4 years in Japan. Not really a rookie.
Right.
I mean,
yeah.
Whereas Andujar had 9 at-bats before this year. At the pro level.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously he's in the minors.
Little call up last year.
He played 149 games. He had 47 doubles, which is only Garrett, Mantley, Cano, and Soriano had more doubles as a Yankee.
As a Yankee.
He had 27 home runs, 97 strikeouts, and almost 600 at-bats. I mean, he had a heck of a year.
Yeah.
Heck of a year. And then as a rookie, I mean,
maybe in 2 years he'll get MVP.
But that was I mean, Ohtani, Gleyber Torres was 271 with 24 and 77, 24 home runs and 77 RBI, so he was a distant third. Yeah. But Ohtani had a bat in 285, 22 home runs, 61 RBIs, 10 stolen bases. I mean, you can make your case. And Acuna ran away in the National League. That wasn't even close. I think he was a unanimous choice there. So that was a no-brainer. So baseball, they're saying that again with Machado and Harper, I think the Phillies are hands-on favorite to land one of them, if not both of them. Mm-hmm. So I guess they have $112 million in their salary cap, and they can go way over if they want. Yeah. So those two, whether they both go, the Dodgers are looking at Harper also. He might be good in L.A. He might fit right in there at LSU.
I think
with his hair and everything, and
the
way he is, he might be. He can jog to first base, and
Yeah, it'd be cool. It'd be laid back, man.
Be cool, laid back.
Hey, bro.
Be mellow, Got there all the porn stars and stuff.
Whoa, hey.
We went there.
Beep, 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 beep.
But anyway, I just hope the Yankees don't get either one of them. They don't need either one of them.
Yeah.
I think Machado.
I can tell you that one team that won't get either of them, Wilpons aren't going to spend that money.
Yeah, it's too bad too. I think Machado will be great in the Mets. They need a little edge. They need an edge guy. They need a guy. So
here's my. You're big on predictions. Joe's predictions almost always come true. Here's my prediction that in 2.5 months we're going to sit here and the report's going to be that the Wilpons are going to spend this much money. And because they do it every year, we're only going to spend this much money, and that backs off the agents and stuff like that. The Mets are going to do something in free agency. It's not going to be huge. Unfortunately, that's my prediction. They'll pick up a position player, a Todd Frazier type of guy, or whatever else. I just don't see them going out and getting a Harper, a Machado, anybody close to that.
I agree with that.
Which is a shame because they have the guts of what could be absolutely in the National League East a true contender. If they wanted to, they could buy the division.
I think the thought process would be to tie up DeGrom, Syndergaard, and Setzer's already tied up, but tie them up, even Wheeler, tie all the pitching up. So they got that. Yeah. Go out and get a closer. They're going to get a decent closer, whether it's Andrew Miller, I don't think Kimbrel is going to leave the Red Sox, but there's a couple of guys that they're looking at. They might get that. I think it'd be good. And again, I always say it, Cespedes is the key. If he's healthy and plays like he could play.
And I agree.
Huge.
I agree hands down. And unfortunately, in some regards, he is tied up because you can't rely on him.
No.
I mean, he's as fragile as a China
and then, again, and also the same old thing. Third base and catcher. They need a decent catcher. They've never had a catcher in years. I don't think Denard's any good. I don't think Nito's any good. I don't think Polecki's any good.
Yeah.
They're all average. They're 210, 220. Defensively they're okay, but
even defensively they're not great.
You look at the Red Sox guy, Leon, Vasquez, and Swihart. They got three really pretty decent catchers.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't hit that much either, but defensively they're fantastic.
Yeah.
But they got to get a decent catcher. Grandal is available from the Dodgers. Maybe they might get him. He's defensively he's average though, but he hits better. Yeah. So I think they have to address those issues. How we go catcher, third base. They still got Todd Frazier for another year, which he's all right.
It's not awful.
He's not going to
kill you that
great
bad.
Though. Yeah. So that was so baseball wise, that's what you're looking at. They came out with the Silver Slugger Awards, which is the top hitter at each position.
Okay.
In the major leagues, Salvador Perez was the American League catcher. Jose Abreu at first. Altuve was at second. Francisco Lindor was at short. Third base was Jose Ramirez of the Indians. The outfield was Mookie Betts, Trout, and J.D. Martinez. And J.D. Martinez also got the Silver Slugger Award as a DH. He got the outfield and a DH.
He gets two bats.
Got two bats, yeah. In the NL was JT Realmuto was the catcher for the National League. Yep. Goldschmidt from the Diamondbacks was at first. Jose Baez of the Cubs was at second. Mm-hmm. Trevor Story and Nolan Arenado from the Rockies were the left side there. And then the outfield was Yelich, Markakis, and David Peralta was the outfield. Yeah. So that was the best hitters at their positions. Yep. So no Yankees and no Mets in that little list at all.
No shocking on the no Mets thing there, obviously.
This was an interesting thing. I watched the Syracuse-Louisville game, which was on Thursday or Friday night, and Louisville just a mess. They won. I think they won 1 or 2 games at the beginning of the year, and then they lost like 5 or 6 in a row. Yep. And they ended up firing Bobby Petrino. Yep. Who already had his issues because he had left Louisville and went to Arkansas. He had some kind of affair with someone on his staff on a motorcycle, blah, blah, blah. And then he went back to Louisville. And his record at Louisville was decent, but he also had Lamar Jackson for a couple of years when he was a Heisman winner. But the interesting thing about Petrino, I don't know if you know this, but probably most people don't know this. They fired him, they fired his son, and they fired both his son-in-laws. They're all on the coaching staff. The whole family went. Boom. Can you imagine?
Tough Thanksgiving at the Petrino house.
Yeah, he had, well, not really, because he gets, what did I read? he still gets paid. He gets
paid on the way out the door?
Yeah, he gets what the hell is that? $14.5 million, find here. $14.26 million total. Okay. 4.5. He was getting 4.5 million a year. I think it was a 3 or 4 year contract. Okay. But all his in-laws and his son were gone. His son, both in-laws.
Might have want to get in front of that one.
Family affair there
before it happened there.
Yeah. But they were.
He's got a problem with his nephews. He didn't give them a job. I mean, what's going on?
Exactly. Maybe next time around he'll get hired somewhere. Always does. Yeah. They were pretty pathetic. I watched against Syracuse. They were just God. Yeah. They had a quarterback too. But
any shocking news in college football? Kind of seems like chalk right about now.
Well, when Alabama played against Mississippi State, Tua got he looked human. He also was getting beat up pretty good. Yeah. He was getting passed around. I mean, they had 164 yards and. And he actually went out of the game. He brought in Mac Jones, which is their third string quarterback. Jalen Hurts is still hurt. Mm-hmm. They were down to a third string quarterback, and he managed the rest of the game for them. And he got him a field goal to make it cover the spread, to make it for entertainment purposes only, to make it 24-0 because it was 21-0 when Tua went out. And but their defense, they've had nine quarters in a row shutout football. Yeah. No one scored them in 9 quarters. So their defense is really, really.
So the way it looks now, you got Alabama 1, Clemson 2, Notre Dame 3. All 3 of those teams 10-0, and then 4, 5, and 6. Michigan, Georgia, Oklahoma, both 9 and all 3 9-1.
And Michigan's only loss was to Notre Dame beginning of the year.
So you would say goes out the way, the rest of the season plays out the way you would think. Alabama plays Michigan?
Looks that way. That would be something.
And then Clemson plays Notre Dame.
That game might be like 9-6.
Yeah.
Those defenses.
So the odds of another Alabama Clemson.
I think Notre Dame's got a tough game this week against Syracuse in Yankee Stadium.
Yep. Syracuse 8-2.
That could be, Syracuse can score.
Oh yeah.
And Notre Dame they got the quarterback's back. Book is back.
Yeah.
Ian Book is back. Wimbesh.
Now that would be one of those losses where you're 10-1. Your one loss is to Syracuse. Syracuse is by no means a bad team, but they're 8-2. They have 2 losses.
Right.
For Notre Dame to lose to a team with 2 losses.
Both their losses were to Clemson, tough game, and Pitt in a tough game.
Right.
So they're 8-2. So they've.
But where's Pitt? I mean, Pitt's
not bad. Pitt's like 8-2, and Pitt's up there too, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to find Pitt here in the top 25.
Yeah, they've been playing pretty well.
But to me, I mean, if you're, I don't know, if you're.
I think you got guy here, and then you got here. I don't think that's. Those teams are in the ACC is not that strong.
So Notre Dame loses to Syracuse. I don't. There's no coming back.
I think they're done. Yeah, I think
that's the end of that.
Because you've got Ohio State.
So then that opens the door to Georgia, Oklahoma possibility,
right.
And then LSU's got 2 losses. Washington State.
Georgia plays Alabama in the SEC championship game.
Yeah.
So Georgia wins that game. Alabama still gets in with 1 loss. Georgia definitely gets in after beating Alabama if they do.
Yeah.
And now,
again, this is assuming that nothing changes.
Right.
We only got a couple more weeks.
Right.
I mean, it's Thanksgiving next week, and that's
right.
That weekend's kind of it.
Right.
The weekend after that, you got Army, Navy.
Right.
And
like Alabama's playing Citadel this week. It's a glorified scrimmage,
Yeah, then you take a break before 97 bowl games start.
And then you got Georgia's not as good as they were last year. I don't think Jake Fromm has really gotten as much better than he was last year, but their running backs are good. Obviously, you have 2 NFL running backs. They got George Foreman's. Not George Foreman, Vander Holyfield's son is running backs, and the other guy is DeAndre Swift.
You were breaking news there for a second.
No. They got Swift and Holyfield, 2 NFL running backs.
Okay.
Yeah. And they still have Jake Fromm. The defense is still very good.
Yep.
So they could give Alabama a game. I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
I personally don't think anyone can touch Alabama except Clemson.
So the SEC championship game has a lot of ramifications
more for Georgia, I think, than Alabama.
For the national championship.
Yeah. Georgia wins, they get in, I think, if they win out.
Any other conference championship game, you got.
Ohio State's got to play Michigan. I think the winner of that one's got a chance to be the Final Four.
Yeah, both are 9-1.
Yeah.
Ohio State with the worst of the 2 losses, I guess you call it.
I think it's at Michigan too. It's in the big house.
Yeah.
So I think that's. I would definitely the way Ohio State's playing. They played a little bit better this past week, but they're not what they used to be there.
Yeah.
So I think that Nick Bosa hasn't played. He called it off after he got hurt. He got hurt a couple weeks ago, and he's getting ready for the draft, so he's not even playing anymore this year. Which is a shame. You get an NFL player, NFL defensive end out there.
Yeah.
And he's not playing anymore. West Virginia's a team that's kind of interesting. They got Will Grier, who's, in my opinion, if I had to draft a quarterback tomorrow, and it wasn't Tua, it would be Will Grier. As far as draft eligible, I think he's the best, most ready-made quarterback out there. He's 23, got a wife, a kid. Older, more mature, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he's not a 20-year-old.
Could be a New York Giant.
Yeah, I think that's.
As a Giant fan, you would like to see him?
I would do. I would definitely would like. He'd be my top choice. You got Justin Herbert from Oregon. Yeah, he's okay. He hasn't played that much. And then you got a couple of guys. You got Fromm. You got. I
got a bad taste in my mouth for Oregon quarterbacks going to the NFL.
Yeah.
Just historically.
Yeah.
Just the system doesn't.
Yeah.
Transfer.
Yeah. Besides that, there's nobody to me that like last year's class. Like those 4 quarterbacks, but nobody.
We haven't seen a class like that since probably Marino.
I like the kid from Michigan State, Brian Lewicki, but he didn't play well the last couple of weeks. So Nick Fitzgerald at Mississippi State's not bad, big guy, but he, I don't know. It's a tough call. I don't think that. I would say any of those quarterbacks are top 10, except for maybe Will Grier. I would.
Yeah.
As far as my opinion,
Yeah.
I think Tua will be a number 1 draft pick the following year.
Yeah.
His little brother's going to go to Alabama as well. Do you know that?
Of course.
He's a senior in high school.
Yeah.
He
Anybody in the top 50
committed,
rankings is
yeah.
going to go to Alabama.
Yeah, something
Or
else.
it sure seems like they get. That's who they get. Yeah.
Something else.
Hey, while we're on the college football thing, we were talking about this a little bit about the show, and the media's regional, local media is starting to pick up on Randy Etzel's contract with the University of Connecticut, and all the little.
Nice segue.
You like that?
There.
Yeah.
You're getting
All the
there. You're
little-
getting there.
Well, 24 shows.
Exactly, yeah.
I'm right in there.
Yeah.
So I'm going to turn it over
Happen
to
to
Joe.
have here in my hands
Joe, tell us a
Randy
little bit about
Etzel's
that.
contract, which
This
is very unique.
Make sure, if you haven't paid attention to anything we've said today, this is going to be interesting.
If you're still watching. Yeah. Well, he has a very unusual contract. He has incentives almost like game to game, which is totally unique. I've never heard of that.
Gets better.
So here's a couple I want to get too bored here. $10,000 for each win.
$10,000 for each one. So he's got how many wins?
One.
Carry those. One. Yeah.
Well, okay, it's made 10 for
All right, 10 grand.
Could have won 8 or 9 by now. Okay. This is weird. $2,000 for scoring first in a given game.
Yeah.
So you win that toss, you're taking the ball every time.
Yeah, and it's shocking that they seem to score a lot.
Incredible, yeah.
They might lose 63 to 12, but
Here's another
they
one.
score first.
$2,000 for leading at halftime of a game.
Uh-huh.
I mean, $2,000 for leading of opposing team in any of these offensive categories. Points per possession, number of times in the red zone, first down efficiency, and total offense.
Yeah.
It's
So you're getting $2,000 for stats, which as a golfer is like saying, okay, the winner of the golf tournament is going to get $1.8 million, but if you hit more fairways than somebody else, we'll throw you a couple grand. And it means nothing.
Amazing.
But some of that, like the scoring first leading at half, to me is trying to keep some interest.
Yeah.
Trying to have, these Connecticut fans not turn the TV off too fast.
The only good thing about that is they have to have a academic rating of there's an academic system that they use. He has to have a certain score to get these too.
So like a team GPA has to be a certain level?
Yeah, it's 950. It's some kind of rating that they have. It's too complicated for me, but anyway.
Yeah.
And he has additional bonuses for over a full season, average points per game. So obviously their whole emphasis is on offense. Right. Nothing about defense.
Yeah.
All right. When you average 25 to 29 points per game, you get $20,000. That's a bonus. 30 to 34, 25, 35 to 39, 30, 40, over 40, $50,000 bonus. So let's not play defense. Let's let them score so we can score and get our bonus.
Well, you don't want to play defense. Keep your offense off the field.
Yeah. You want to get your bonus. And points per game allowed for the season. That's another thing. $10,000 for ranking in the top 6 in the AAC in each of the following categories: total yards, rushing yards, receiving yards, red zone efficiency. It's amazing. Who thinks of this stuff?
I don't know, but I want to find out who his agent is.
Yeah.
And when we renegotiate with Nutmeg TV, he's going to represent us. So, Chris, we're coming at you.
Exactly. An $150,000 maximum bonus buyout Etzel can earn each season.
So if you look at, the guy's making a fortune. I'm just looking at the last 5 games here. They put up 30 in a loss to South Florida. They put up 17 in a loss to UMass. Somewhere in that contract should be, if you get beat by UMass, you give everything back.
Right.
They put up 19 against Tulsa. They put up 50 against SMU. He basically paid his mortgage for the year against SMU.
All right, here's another. Yep, go ahead.
Nah, that's all I got.
Here's another one. When they beat Rhode Island, their only win of the year, he made $30,000 for beating Rhode Island.
$2,000 for the win, $2,000 for leading at half.
He got
$2,000 for the fewest.
$10,000 for the victory, and $20,000 in bonus for all the stats for the scoring and whatnot.
Okay.
Yep.
So like in golf terminology, like in junk. Okay, yeah, I beat you, but I made more sandies and I knocked it close on some parts.
4 times in their games they scored first.
Yep.
So that's $2,000 each.
That's $8,000.
All right.
Hold on, let me get the pen here. So that's 10. So we're at $18,000.
If it says if the Huskies finish strong offensively, Etzel could earn another $20,000 bonus. $20,000 bonus for team scoring output. Here's what's going on. This says 47.8 points per game allowed by UConn. It goes, Etzel will not, however, be earning any more bonus points for his defensive performance. How funny is that?
Because So this past Saturday against SMU, they put up 50 points.
Yeah.
I mean, that's so. Whether
And
one of them was first,
Well, they lost
that, and the other,
62-50.
62-50.
Yeah, they scored at the end. And here's another one. Like Etzel, UConn offensive coordinator John Dunn and defensive coordinator Billy Crocker have contracts loaded with specific performance incentives. Dunn and Crocker are rewarded for success in categories similar to the ones to which Etzel is rewarded. So either DC or OC.
I'm pretty sure the DC's not making a whole lot of cash here.
Unbelievable.
You're giving up 49 points,
Now,
62
do you know
points,
his base
38
salary?
points.
I know his base salary. So it's very interesting. His base salary is about $1 million, I think.
Wow. So that is low.
Yeah.
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 Well, I don't know. I mean, it's low compared to the basketball coaches, but it's a whole different. That's apples to oranges. You can't compare UConn football to UConn basketball for either side, men or women.
Here's a good one. UConn's 22-17 loss to UMass October 27th.
Yep.
He earned a total of $8,000 extra.
So he must have been leading first score and leading
first,
half.
leading at halftime, more tackles for loss, and
More
winning a turnover margin. It's incredible. It's like a video game reward. He's got a video game contract. Yeah, it's incredible. Well, here it is.
Is anybody else doing this? I mean, how creative is this?
One guy, according to this, is very rare. Nobody else does it. All the other coaches get rewarded for wins and losses.
Shocking.
Yeah, and bowl appearances, things like that.
Yeah,
But
bowl appearances, yeah.
They don't get these individual game stats, though.
Yeah, crazy.
But his, let me see, his base salary increased by the amount of bonuses he received the previous season, up to $100,000. That means Etzel earned a bump from $1 million in 2017 to $1.1 million plus bonuses this year. Even with a $100,000 raise, here we go. Etzel's base salary will still rank among the lowest figures of a head coach in the AAC. Okay. So, and his offensive and defense coordinator each get $300,000 a year. So I mean, look at that. Look at that perspective. That's why the program stinks. Not paying anybody anything. You know what I mean? Among a million other things. But I mean, you're not paying your coaches anything. What do you expect?
Yeah, and we could say that football team stinks for a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
One of which is it's Connecticut.
Yep.
I never bought into the fact that University of Connecticut is going to be a football powerhouse. They're in arguably not arguably, it's a lesser conference. I mean, we're not talking basketball now, we're talking college football. And in college football, there's only 3 or 4, say 4, maybe 5 conferences that matter, and the American Athletic Conference is not one of them.
Yep.
I mean, SEC, ACC, Big 10, Pac-10, Big 10, Big 8, whatever it is now.
That's just a unique thing. I don't see any real positive stuff out of those incentive things. I mean, so you score first, like, okay, I made $2,000, and you still
and like I said, I mean, maybe they sold it that, hey, if we score first, if we lead at halftime, there's interest in people continuing to watch the game to stay at the rent for for the rest of the game. I don't know, or to go to the rent.
It's really interesting. Just one more thing about college football. West Virginia and Oklahoma's on the outside looking into. It's another team. Oklahoma wins out, they get a shot making the Final Four. Yep. Ohio State too, if they went out. LSU and Washington State are probably out of it. They don't have a chance. But that's pretty much. You got your normal guys. Although Michigan, Notre Dame runs the table, you can't keep them out. You can't keep them out undefeated.
Right. So, yeah. If they run the table.
And actually,
like say that Syracuse game.
If they run the table, it probably would help Michigan because Michigan got beat by Notre Dame in theory.
Yeah.
So they would be the 4th now.
Yeah.
Again, Alabama, Michigan, that would be an amazing matchup. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't want to play Michigan. I think out of Clemson too, obviously, but Clemson has that freshman quarterback Trevor Lawrence, and they played BC, and they annihilated BC. They won 27-7 this past week, but the BC quarterback got hurt, Anthony Brown. He didn't play. So I mean that was part of their issues, and BC really doesn't score that much. They got a big back and just get eight.
It's kind of a throwback to see BC in the conversation nationally. They're ranked 18, 19, 20, somewhere around there.
Play good defense, but their offense is
it's been. I mean, you're going back to Doug Flutie since they were. They were of any prominence.
The ACC is not that strong this year overall. Some of these teams, but now let's do a little NBA if that's okay.
A little NBA, kind of early for the NBA. We only got 51 weeks before the playoffs start.
Carmelo Anthony, I guess, is in the process of getting cut by the Rockets. I don't know what they expect out of him. They know he doesn't play defense. They know he doesn't rebound. All he does is shoot.
Yeah.
And they're blaming him. You didn't blame Carmelo. It's a group effort that they're not doing well at the Rockets. Warriors had a little drama with Draymond Green and Kevin Durant going at it.
Yeah.
The other night.
And so they suspended him
for one game.
One game served, right?
Yep.
Just trying to kind of nip that in the bud.
Guess how much money that cost Draymond Green? 1 game suspension.
More than Randy Edsel gets paid for the UConn Huskies scoring first.
Yes.
Okay.
$120,000.
$120,000.
1 game.
That's more than poor Randy Edsel's made in incentives all
One game, $120,000, and that's not a team fine. They will take it out of his pay. A lot of times those fines, the
league,
the league,
team
or the
pays
team
the league,
will
Jerry
absorb
or
it.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, $120,000. Then
now, that was team imposed. That was not league
team imposed. Yeah, a team did it, and then also they said that they were able to read Durant's lips as he walked off the court, and he said, "That's why I'm out of here."
Okay.
Yeah, so that was interesting.
Okay.
He was yelling at Draymond Green, and he goes, "That's why I'm out of here."
Okay.
So that's why he continued in the locker room. That they were arguing. It didn't come to blows or anything, but they were going back and forth. They said it was pretty ugly. I guess Draymond said some stuff to him.
Yeah.
And he said, "That's why I'm out of here now." Heat of the moment, get your mouth off. I mean, he has a chance to go somewhere as a free agent. It's got to be tough when you have all that talent on one team and just. It's good for a while, but sharing the ball and all that stuff. I mean,
yeah, and it's not. I mean, you're more of an NBA guy than I am. It's not a team sport anymore.
It's not.
And I don't think it has been.
No.
There's been pockets. Certainly, I think the Celtics team last year played as a team, but I mean, you go back to the Chicago Bulls, and you clear out the side for Jordan, and it's become a superstar league. So sharing the ball and splitting it up it's great. I think there's room for it.
Jimmy Butler with the Sixers, that might help them a little bit.
Yep.
One little quick take on college. Duke annihilated Kentucky last Wednesday, and that was they beat them by 50, 60 points. And Kentucky's never had a loss that big, give up that many points in a game. I think Duke scored 120 points. And there's Zion Williamson. You see this guy? 6'8", 285, 6'7", 6'8", 285, 45-inch vertical jump, moves like a guard. I mean, freshman, he was actually amazing. Second game, he had 27 points, 16 rebounds, 8 block shots.
Yeah.
And
it's a little surprising, and I think for me, it's a little surprising, that Kentucky's playing Duke so early in the season.
Yeah.
But because of the makeup of Kentucky every single year, it's shocking that they don't lose more games early in the season because these kids have only been playing together for a few weeks.
Yeah. I really believe that from what I saw, Duke is so superior to everyone in college basketball right now. They get the 3 best players in the country as freshmen. I mean,
Counting Villanova out already?
Well, they have some pieces to really put together. I mean, at the end they'll be there, but as of right now, at this moment,
today,
Duke is. I never seen anything like it.
Yeah,
they're unstoppable. I mean, who do you guard? You got this R.J. Barrett, and you got this other guy. I mean, they're just like. And plus, they have other players besides those guys too. They got. I mean, they're just.
Hey, I don't want to cut short your talk on the NBA, but before we run out of time, I did want to make 2 notes about my sport, golf.
Absolutely.
Okay. This week, the tour says goodbye to the 2018 calendar, which is not to say it's the end of the season, because this will be the 7th event of the wraparound 2018-2019 season. There's a reshuffle that happens. The guys that came off the web.com tour, guys, if they don't play well this week, that could be it for some of those guys. So the 25 guys that got their cards are really up against it this week. So if you're watching some golf while it's snowing outside, but on a local / national / breakthrough level, Susie Whaley, who's lived in Farmington, Connecticut for a long time, just this past week out west was elected the first female president of the PGA of America, which is kind of an exciting thing.
That's women, guys, everywhere.
So there's 27,000 members of the PGA. I'm one of them.
It's impressive.
So she, like a lot of fraternal, I don't want to say fraternal, but a lot of organizations, she got elected as secretary a few years ago, went through the progression, so she'll be the president for the next 2 years. All right.
Very good. Congratulations.
Got to sneak in golf before you cut me off.
Of course.
Thanks, Joe.
Another one down the train there.
All right.
All right, boss.
Thanks, Joe.